Hi. Oh my goodness. I am so excited for what we're about to tell you.
Yes, it has been such a whirlwind
It
week and a
has.
half, you guys. We started reading these stories the day submissions opened, and then we got hundreds of stories
Oh my gosh,
between
there were
then
so
and when
many.
it closed.
It,
There were 200 on our long list.
yep.
And then we will be announcing today the short list, the finalists, and the winners. So we are very proud of all of you, though. Very, very proud.
Yes. I would like to actually, just before we get into all of that, if you completed, blah, blah, I can't speak. If you completed the 6th annual AutoCrit Short Story Challenge, I want you to give yourself a pat on the back. So, congratulations to everyone who did complete this challenge. It is an outstanding achievement. It is difficult to write a short story. I am a person who prefers long prose, and it is hard for me to write shorts. And so my hat is off to all of you for taking on this challenge and giving us so many incredible choices to read through. I like to say I am an author, but I'm a reader first, and so it's never a hardship for me to get a giant pile of reading, especially when you guys make it so entertaining. So well done, everyone.
Yes, absolutely. Well done. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the common recurring themes that we
Hmm.
found in the winning stories today. But as a recap, we asked you guys to write us a story that takes place in one single day. It had to be in one day, and it had to include one environmental change.
Yep.
So, our short list, I'm going to make it bigger. That way, everybody can see it.
Yay!
Um, let's see. We have The Blooming by Elizabeth, Tether by Greta, Cody by Robert, Memory Jars by C, Dark Descent by Tammy, Lemon Pepper Chicken, which was submitted anonymously, Life After Death, also anonymous, My Perfect Murder by Renee, Sale of the Century, anonymous, The Crystal Blizzard by Linda, By Morning Rain by Charles, Day of Dust by Taylor, Magic in the Mines by Christina, The Haunted Hotel by Kat, not AutoCrit Cat, just to clarify. That is Kat Campbell. Acquaintance by Anonymous, The Forgotten Depths by Henry, 2900 Rain on the Las Vegas Speedway by Steven, Last 50 Steps by Anathea, and The Sharp End of Forgetting. So, congratulations, everyone, on the short list.
Absolutely amazing. One of the things that I know, it's always hard to narrow down our list, but I really appreciated the well-developed characters that we had in so many of these stories. Really, all of these stories had well-developed characters. There was just such strong voice, wouldn't you say,
Mhm.
Catherine?
Oh, yeah. They had really good voice. They had really hooking openings that brought that voice to life right from the start. I cannot stress enough. You guys have heard me say this if you've been around AutoCrit for any period of time. Becca's giggling because she knows what's coming. I will not read a book for fun if the first sentence does not grab me. And I sort of approach stories for challenges like this the same way. We need an opening that grabs us and makes us want to continue
Mhm.
reading the book. And you guys blew it out of the park. So kudos to you, 100%.
Absolutely. And I really think that the theme that we had going, the one single day, the environmental change, I appreciated the way each of these stories kind of mastered that theme in their own way. It is there's just so many different ways to take this concept of one single day. And I think y'all just, I mean, I'm so proud of you. You guys did such a great job. And I really appreciated the way you both explored it. And then you add, there's some incredible depth that was added. We did not give you very many words to play with.
No.
For a limit of 4,501 words. That is, you have to make sure that those words count. And yet, in that, we were able to get that vivid imagery. We were able to get those sensory details. There was excellent examples of pacing going on throughout these stories. That is so important in a short.
Oh, yeah. It had a clear beginning, middle, and end, which is something that we stressed on a couple of our check ins during the live, how we wanted fully self contained stories. We weren't looking for excerpts from other pieces or
Mhm.
ones that had blatant cliffhanger endings where you don't resolve the main challenge that you presented to us in the beginning of the story. And we know that's hard to do with only 4,501 words. And every single one of these pulled that off beautifully.
So, again, a round of applause for our short list. It was hard to pick from among you.
Now, this was a blind judging. We did not know who wrote these short list stories until the judges, who are not Becca and I,
Mm-mm.
picked the winners for the challenge, and then we were plugged in all the names from the technical team, and that was really exciting. So, congratulations. If you didn't make the short list and you're wondering what are some of the reasons, I'm going to be completely honest. It was very, very difficult to get that long list of 200 down to this short list. It was very, very hard. And some of the things that stood out to us, if you're taking notes for future challenges, I have 5 things that the judges took into consideration when sort of narrowing down outside of the story and the overall voice and style. The number one thing was usually unattributed dialogue opening up the stories. That is where you have dialogue that's opening the story that doesn't have a tag on it, and that isn't then clear after you've read ahead 3 or 4 lines, where we still didn't know who was speaking or what exactly they were talking about, was probably the number one reason. Now, Becca, you said you open books with dialogue. It's okay to
Mhm.
open books with dialogue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
No, it's fine. You just need to give you need to give people some context at some point. You can be a little bit mysterious for a while, but we have to get there in order to in order to make that work.
right. We had a few that read like excerpts of larger pieces
Mhm.
in that they talked about characters as though we already knew who they were without introducing them, or they plucked us right into the middle of the scene and then never gave us life before the scene or life after the scene with a resolution. And then we also had some that read like that blatant cliffhanger where you promise to answer a story question and then at the end it isn't answered. And then a couple others that are just sort of side notes. Leaving the narrator off the page leaves a whole lot of responsibility on the characters who are talking. So there were some that were submitted that have really intriguing dialogue and a really intriguing story, but the characters are carrying 100% of the story. They're literally telling their own story. So it's hard to get out of the floating heads space when that happens. Becca, I don't know what tips you would have for avoiding floating heads, but floating heads is essentially we have blackness for a scene and we have 2 people talking to each other.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, other than like avoid that. Um I want to make sure that it's not. I love dialogue and I am a dialogue heavy writer. I don't want to discourage people from having good, well written, snappy, like keep your reader entertained dialogue. In fact, I would like more of that. I love
Oh, yeah.
great dialogue, but you have to build the scene around it. It can't just be a recording of a conversation. I need to know what's going on around them. I need to know where we are. I need to know, even if I don't have, let's say it's Catherine and I having a conversation, we don't know if unless unless we tell you, we don't you can't tell where we are. Are we in a cave somewhere? Um, we do not volunteer that for the next AutoCrit retreat. No caves, please. Or are we having a conversation via Zoom? Are we having a conversation in person at a writers conference? Like, where are we? What are we doing? What is around us? And if you give those context clues and build out that world and give us those sensory details, you guys always hear me talking about sensory details, but it's really important. Then that dialogue is going to have to work less hard to carry the whole thing.
Oh,
does
yeah.
that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, yeah, that makes complete sense. So from there, we the other notes really come down to just sort of this polishing side
Mm-hmm.
to the stories you submit. So Becca, I know you had a note on that too.
Yeah, please be mindful of word count. It really makes me sad if we have to disqualify you because you have 100 extra words.
Yeah.
So word counts, especially in challenges or if you're going to enter in contests later, if you have an explicit word count, you have to be within it. That's how that works. It is a hard word count. It's the brick wall of words like behind me in my fake brick wall. The other thing is please do an editing pass of your short story. There were some that had some pretty aggressive
Editing needs. They
editing
needed
needs.
a
Yeah.
polish.
I was like, how do I say this? It is important we're to, make sure that your basics are covered. Make sure that the punctuation is there. Make sure that spelling is there. Make sure that we're capitalizing the starts of sentences and things like that, because you are wanting to put a polished piece forward, so that we can focus on the content and not be distracted by um, we're both really eagle-eye type people, so it's actually impossible for us to not get distracted by that if we've got a bunch of sentences starting without capital letters and the formatting's a little bit wonky and we've got we're missing quite a few commas and things like that. I try not to be super nitpicky, but there is a line that we need to make sure that you guys have edited a little bit. So those would be my notes. Overall, though, content-wise, I just love how
Yeah.
creative our community is. Everyone had such interesting takes on this theme. And again, I'm just excited that I got to read your work.
Yes. So, are we ready to reveal the finalists? Now, we're going to reveal 2 slides, you guys. Hold with us. We
Yeah.
have finalists. Those are the people that are not winners, but who did move on from the shortlist
Yep.
to that second to last round. So don't walk away and go, wait a minute, I thought you were going to have 10 winners. We actually do have 10 winners today. But our finalists that really stood out, these 4 people deserve a huge round of applause in and of themselves. So close, you guys. So close and so agonizing
It
to
was.
make the decision. So we've got Tether by Greta here. We have Cody by Robert, Sale of the Century, Anonymous, and 2900 Rain on the Las Vegas Speedway by Steven. So congratulations, you guys. These really shone out so much, and it was so hard for the judges to pick out the 10 winners out of the finalist list, out of the short list in general. But these 4 would be those runner ups to those 10 if the 10 had not already been booked. So,
Well
well,
done.
yes. All right.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm so excited.
I'm ready. Okay, let's
Reminding
do
you
it.
of the prize. These are the 10 people whose stories will be printed in a trophy anthology and physically mailed to these winners.
Yep.
It will not be available for sale. We will
Nope.
not have it available for download. It is only a trophy anthology. So if the winners would like to share, or the shortlist, or the finalists, or anybody would like to share their stories, there is a thread open in the pro member community forums where you can share those stories. But that is the only way you will get them, because we know our winners like to take those stories and do other things with them that make them want to keep their rights. So here it is.
Okay. Yay!
Congratulations to our winners.
All right, so we have My Perfect Murder by Renee. We have Lemon Pepper Chicken by Anonymous. We have By Morning Rain by Charles. Last 50 Steps by, I'm sorry, how do I,
I think it's
Anathea?
Anathea.
Anathea? Okay. Memory Jars by C. The Forgotten Depths by Henry. The Sharp End of Forgetting by Kimberly. Life After Death by Anonymous. Dark Descent by Tammy. And Day of Dust by Taylor.
I am
Congratulations.
so excited, you guys.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be an incredible collection for you guys to enjoy and to have on your shelf. It's so well done.
Congratulations. Seriously. So happy for all of you. These were all extremely strong, character driven stories that from
Yep.
the moment the judges opened the stories, we were invested, right? In the characters, in what they went through. We were on the edge of our seat. It had good narrative tension, good showing versus telling, consistent POV throughout. You kept everything in the day. It was very, very well done. You guys definitely deserve every bit of the round of applause that I hope the audience is going to give you. So, yay!
Well done. I also want to point out that I really appreciated the very distinct and confident voices that were present in this selection of winners here. This is, wherever you are in your writing journey, developing you're developing your voice and having confidence in your voice is an important part of growing as a writer. And I could feel that confidence in each of these stories. So I love it. Well done. We're so excited to celebrate you.
We will be emailing the winners to
Mm-hmm.
ask for your physical mailing address. We do have to have the physical mailing address to send you a print copy. We will not be sending out electronic copies because we don't want anybody to have access to anybody else's work electronically. So we do need your actual physical mailing address. So please reply to us. Check your spam folders. If you do not hear from us by the end of the day today, hit the little help bubble in the bottom right corner of AutoCrit, and we will help you that way. But we want to go ahead and get this out to you as quickly as we can. So we can't start shipping these until we have everybody's information. So please help us get that to you. And again, even if you didn't make it to the shortlist, you didn't make it to the finalists, you didn't make it to the winners this challenge, please do not be discouraged. You did great pulling off such a short piece out of so many participants, hundreds of people on the long list. You guys, we're proud of you. And we hope you're proud of yourself and that you can take the piece you wrote and go on to do something with it, even if it's not here on the screen.
Yeah, it's again, it's a huge challenge to write a short for a lot of people. And you know what? If you finished it, maybe it's something you can use for your marketing as a lead magnet. Maybe it's something you're going to explore inside of Novel 90, which did just start. If you haven't signed up, please do. Team Plancer all the way. No, Team Plancer and Pantser are represented on this. And we want you to keep writing. We want you to keep developing it. We want you to keep playing with it and continue telling your stories.
Yes. Yeah. So we are going to drop the link to the Pro Member forums in the description box underneath this video, where you can go, if you're an AutoCrit Pro member, of course, and share your stories. If you would like to sign up for Novel 90 this summer and up the ante from short story to novella, it is 100% free to do so.
Do it.
And that one doesn't have a full story submission and things like that. This is about getting your piece done in 90 days. So check out the live kickoff video in the replay for that for more information on that as well. But Becca, any other questions, parting thoughts before we wrap up the 6th annual short story challenge?
All of our shortlist, our finalists, and our winners will be receiving an email with I made these like really fun certificates for you guys. We have some prizes for our finalists and our winners, and we have some cool things for you to look at. So you will be getting those emails over the next day or two. We did personalize all of these, so we had to wait till we had our final list in order to do that. So thank you in advance for your patience of the cool personalized stuff that I'm making. Yeah, so expect an email. It will come from the support email address. If you're doing a search and you're like, Becca hasn't emailed me anything, well, I probably have, but it's from support. So you'll need to make sure that you look for that, and I'll make sure that I put brackets or something around so that it catches your eye and you're like, oh wait, that's short story challenge. So be on the lookout.
All right, you guys. Well done. Congratulations. Bye, everybody.
Have a good one.